Okay, so page 78 in your workbook, Unit 7, Shopping. Lesson A is a listening activity. So we're going to listen to the conversation and answer the questions at the bottom. Okay?
Unit 7, Shopping. Page 78. Exercise 1.
Do you use your credit card a lot?
Yes, all the time. I have 4 cards.
Really? Isn't it difficult to pay them off? The interest rates are so high.
I never charge more than $100 on each card.
I'm thinking about buying a new refrigerator, but I can't afford it.
Why don't you buy it on credit? You can pay for it later.
I don't want to get into debt. We already have to pay off our car loan.
Maybe you could look in the newspaper or online and find a used refrigerator.
That's a good idea.
Okay, so first of all, who is talking or who are the speakers in this conversation? Okay, so we can say Sophia and Jackie are speaking, or Sophia and Jackie are the speakers, or Sophia and Jackie are talking. What is their relationship? What is their relationship? Okay, and it looks like they are probably friends. They are probably friends, so we can say they are friends. Okay, so let's take a look at number 1. Sophia wants to buy a refrigerator. What is the problem? Okay, and you can already see the answer for this question, but the answer is letter D. She doesn't have enough money. Okay, so number 2. What does Jackie think Sophia should do? So I want you to answer in a complete sentence. So we can say, Jackie thinks Sophia should buy a used refrigerator. Jackie thinks Sophia should buy a used refrigerator. So letter D. Okay, number 3. Which statement is true? Okay, and the answer is letter C. Sophia is worried about getting into debt. Okay, and let me ask you why. Why is Sophia worried about getting into debt? Okay, so if you look at the conversation, you can see that Sophia says, we already have to pay off our car loan. Okay, we already have to pay off our car loan. So, what do you think pay off means? Pay off. Okay, so we use pay off when we are talking about completing payments for a loan. Pay off. So you could pay off a car or pay off a house, pay off a mortgage, which is paying for a house. So pay off means to finish or complete payments for a loan. And we're actually going to talk about these kinds of verbs in Unit 8. They're called phrasal verbs. So it's a verb that is made up of 2 words. So you can see pay off. And it doesn't mean the same thing as just pay. Okay, so there are lots of phrasal verbs, and in fact, even in this unit, you'll see some phrasal verbs like even get into. Get into is another kind of phrasal verb. So get is a totally different meaning from get into. So again, we will talk more about phrasal verbs in the next unit. Okay, so let's keep going. Number 4. Which statement is true? Okay, and the answer is letter B. Jackie has more than one credit card. We can see that she has 4 credit cards. How does Jackie manage her credit cards well? How does she manage them well? Okay, so if you look at what Jackie says, she says, I never charge more than $100 on each card. So we can make that sentence into third person, and we can say, she never charges more than $100 on each card. She never charges more than $100 on each card. Okay, so now we're going to go to page 79, exercise 2. Complete the sentences. So I'll give you some time to complete each sentence with one of the words from the box. Okay, so number 1, that car costs $30,000. We can't afford it. We can't afford it. And in this sentence, let me ask you, is cost a noun or a verb? Okay, it's a verb. Okay, and you can also see the S at the end of cost because car is third person singular. So that car costs $30,000. Okay, number 2, I'll buy the refrigerator on credit. I don't want to use my savings. Okay, number 3, you should pay cash for food. Don't use your credit card. Number 4, the interest rate for the loan is too high. Number 5, if we pay off the loan in 6 months, there's no interest. And number 6, at the end of the month, the balance in my bank account is usually low. Okay, so exercise 3, solve the problems. So let's take a look at number 1. Suwon and Chung-hee have a balance of $28,000 in their savings account. They want to buy a new car that costs $30,500. If they use all the money in their savings account, how much do they need to borrow to buy the new car? And you can see the calculations under the question. So it says the cost of a new car. So if you make a sentence, you can say the cost of a new car is $30,500. Okay, so I want you to make a sentence with the next 2 categories: balance in savings account and money they need to borrow. Okay, so we can say the balance in their savings account is $28,000. So the balance in their savings account is $28,000. And then money they need to borrow. Okay, so you can say the money they need to borrow is $2,500. Or you can say they need to borrow $2,500. Okay, so let's do the calculations, or let's just read the calculations. So you can see that the cost of a new car minus the balance in their savings account is $2,500. So that is the money they need to borrow. Okay, so you can put $2,500 in the blank. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to do numbers 2 and 3, and then we will discuss it together. Okay, number 2. Suzanne and Pete have a balance of $950 in their savings account. They want to buy a new refrigerator. It costs $1,200. You can also say $1,200. If they use all the money in their savings account, how much do they need to borrow? Okay, so if we do the calculations, then we can say $1,200 minus $950 is, or equals, $250. So if you make a sentence answer, you can say, they need to borrow $250. They need to borrow $250. Okay, number 3. Dora and Julian have saved $1,500. They want to buy a television. It costs $1,200. They also need a new washing machine. It costs $800. If they use all their savings, how much do they need to borrow to buy the TV and the washing machine? Okay, so if we do the calculations, this one has 2 steps. So first, we need to add up the cost of the television and the washing machine. So we can do $1,200 plus $800 equals $2,000. And then the second step is we have to subtract their savings from the cost of the television and the washing machine. So we can say $2,000 minus $1,500 is $500. So if you make a sentence, you can say, they need to borrow $500. They need to borrow $500. And you can include the rest of the sentence. So you can say, they need to borrow $500 to buy the TV and the washing machine. Okay, so exercise 4. This is another listening activity. So I'm going to play the audio and I want you to take some notes and then I will ask you some questions. And as you listen, circle the correct amounts.
Page 79. Exercise 4.
Ernesto, look at this TV. It's beautiful. It's so big, 60 inches. I mean, that's like having a movie theater in your living room. And it's only $2,000.
Only $2,000? Sarah, that's expensive. With the taxes and installation, that's about $2,500. We can't afford to spend $2,500 on a TV.
Yes, but it says here we can get special financing for 3 years.
Well, did you see this? The interest rate is 24%. That means we're going to pay almost $100 a month for 36 months. With that, the real cost of the TV is about $3,600.
But Ernesto, we need a TV. Ours is very old, and I'm sure it's not going to last much longer.
Oh, I agree. We need a new TV, but we don't need the most expensive one in the store. Look at this one. It's a nice TV. It's smaller, just 42 inches. But our living room is pretty small, too. It's only $550. We don't need such a large TV.
Well, I guess you're right. I didn't think about the interest.
Yeah, that's one of the problems with these things. People don't stop to add up the cost of the interest on the loan.
Okay, so as I always ask, who are the speakers in this conversation? Who are the speakers or who is talking? Okay, so we can say Ernesto and Sarah are the speakers. Ernesto and Sarah are the speakers. And then what is their relationship? What is their relationship? Okay, and just like Ken and Julie from our first listening activity, we can say they are a married couple or they are husband and wife. Okay, and then what are they talking about? What are they talking about? Okay, so we can say they are talking about buying a TV. They are talking about buying a TV. Okay, so now let's take a look at the first statement. Number one, the price of the first TV with the taxes and installation is about $2,500. Okay, the price tag says $2,000, but if you include the taxes and installation, the total cost is $2,500. And let me ask another question. How big is the TV? How big is that TV? Okay, so you can say it is 60 inches. It is 60 inches. Okay, number two. The interest rate on the loan for the TV is 24%. Okay, and then number three. The monthly payment on the TV loan would be almost $100. Okay, so if you remember, Ernesto said that after the interest payments, the real cost of the TV is $3,600. Okay, so if you break that up into 3 years, which is 36 months, that comes out to $100 per month. So the real total cost is $3,600. And if you remember, Ernesto said to his wife, that's the problem. Most people don't think about the interest payments. And he said they don't add up the cost, add up. So that's another phrasal verb, add up. And add up basically means to put the total amount together. Okay, and then number four. The smaller TV costs only $550. Okay, and how big is the smaller TV? Do you remember? Okay, yes, so the smaller TV is 42 inches. 42 inches. But Ernesto said that's okay because their living room is small, or their living room is not that big. Okay, so let's go back to number one. I want you to practice making questions. Okay, so what can we ask for number one? Okay, so we can say, what is the price of the first TV with the taxes and installation? What is the price of the first TV with the taxes and installation? Okay, and of course you can also ask, how much is the first TV with the taxes and installation? You can use how much, or even you can use cost. What is the cost? What is the price? Same thing. Okay, number two. The interest rate on the loan for the TV is 24%. So make a question. Okay, so we can say, what is the interest rate on the loan, or on the loan for the TV? What is the interest rate on the loan for the TV? Okay, and then number three. The monthly payment on the TV loan would be almost $100. Okay, so we can say, what would the monthly payment on the TV loan be? Okay, what would the monthly payment on the TV loan be? Or we could also say, what would be the monthly payment on the TV loan? What would be the monthly payment on the TV loan? So in this case, you can see a modal. And the modal is would. In fact, we're going to learn about modals in lesson B. but there are so many modals, and I've mentioned this in class before. Would, could, should, may, might, will, can, those are all modals, and after a modal we always use the original verb, base verb, root verb. Okay, so that's why you can see be instead of is. So again, what would the monthly payment on the TV loan be? Okay, and then number 4, the smaller TV costs only $550, so make a question. Okay, so for this one, costs is the verb, so we have to use a helping verb, does. So what does the smaller TV cost? What does the smaller TV cost? Okay, so now we are going to move on to our student's book, page 86. Student's book, page 86. Okay, and as I mentioned, this is the lesson on modals.